Namaskar, Vanakkam, Pranam, Sat Sri Akal. We will talk today about Dash Avatar, the 10 avatars, the 10 reincarnations of Vishnu. Shall we call them reincarnations or shall we simply call them the 10 forms uh, of Vishnu that have Vishnu the preserver. So we have Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Brahma is the creator Shakti of the Godhead. Vishnu is the preserver Shakti, and Shiva is the Shakti that keeps everything nice and calm and healthy. Everything unhealthy gets destroyed. So, in that, Vishnu has the 10 avatars, the Dashamavar. Uh, you would like to, Shiv, you would like to enumerate the 10 avatars and speak about them one by one. We are listening.
Namaste, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Before we start, the Srimad Bhagavad Puran talks of 24 avatars of Mahavishnu. Of these 24, 10 have become, you can say, they have gained a lot of importance and people have connected them to science also. But if we have to enumerate, uh, Vishnu, the very word Vishnu itself means that which is everywhere, that which pervades everywhere. Because the first word of the Vishnu Sahasranamam is Vishwam, the world. And the world as in this multi-universe. And it also ends with a very interesting term, Sarva Praharana Ayudhaya Namaha. That which has everything as a weapon, right from Astra Shastra to probably nuclear weapons that you're seeing, biological weapons, even nails that were used in the Narasimha Avatara. So everything becomes an avatar. But among them, the 10 become Matsya, the fish, Kurma, the turtle or the tortoise, Varaha, the boar, Narasimha, the man and the lion, Vamana, the small one, Parashurama, the Rama with an axe, Sri Ramachandra, uh, Sri Krishna, Balarama. Sometimes you do have certain differences over here, and finally the Kalki avatar. So before we get into just overall superficially seeing, we can connect these avatars to different stages of our own development. To just highlight it, when we were in our mother's womb, we were floating in that amniotic liquid and fluid. So we are similar to a fish. And even now, as per the theory of evolution, everything started from fish, which were the first so called animals. If you look at our pelvic girdle, it resembles the Kurma avatar. It has the shape of a turtle or a tortoise, however you wish to put it. And then you have Varaha, which is all about taming ourselves. There is the loss of the earth that was then regained. And then you have the Narasimha Shakti, which is all about emerging like flames from a pillar. And very interestingly, our stomach chakra, solar plexus, is the fire tattva also. So we can look at Narasimha over there. And then you have Vamana, who is all about letting go. I am taking the Vamana Avatara right now because many of us today have a problem in letting go. Even though Raja Bali was the epitome of being just and following his dharma, he still had arrogance. I am donating all these things. So when Bhagavan came in that very small form and asked for 3 steps of land, he said, what a fool you are. Only 3 steps of land, that too with your feet. Take more, I have everything. So that is why to break that I, Bhagavan then too. The same Vamana became Trivikrama, that which conquered all the 3 lokas. And when he didn't have place to keep his for the third foot, he offered himself. So it's a very beautiful concept that many of us may be doing many pujas, many danas, we may be practicing a lot of things. But have we given up that I tattva, that I am doing so and so? To just give you a small example, in today's concept, how can we apply the Dashavatars? If we are donating something to a temple or any center, are we putting our nameplate also under the tube light? Maybe we are behaving like Bali at that time. Maybe we are not letting go. And then we have Parashurama. Parashurama becomes very pertinent when Dharma is not followed. So when the Raja was not following Dharma, appropriate measures had to be taken. And then of course we have Sri Rama. Now Parashurama is all about the Vishuddha Chakra, detachment, because there is a concept of beheading in Parashurama that keeps coming again and again. And this is all about detachment. And then we go to Sri Rama, which is in the Agya Chakra, because Sri Rama is all about knowledge. One day you are sitting, you're going to become the king tomorrow, but the very next minute you are sent to the forest. That life can be unpredictable, but yet the same Sri Rama he did not lose his cool and what you call, there's a very beautiful word, equipoise, whether he was here or there. And then when you transcend everything, you have Shri Krishna. About Shri Krishna, I would just like to say one thing, that there are 16 kalas or 16 attributes of the divine we have to strive for. And if you multiply them by the number of nadis, you get 16,000. So the 16,000 wives here are nothing but just what we should work on to manifest. And finally, Kalki is just growing our own wisdom, evolving with time. That is, for example, with Corona, are we evolving ourselves to meet the time? That is Kalki Avatar.
So Kalki Avatar is the generation which is present at any given moment and that is growing wiser with time. The collective consciousness of that, just like the internet, the collective consciousness of the entire society growing in wisdom is the Kalki Avatar, the 10th Avatar. And about the 9th Avatar also, Balaram, and in some traditions, in a lot of traditions, North India, Mahatma Buddha. And in some of the traditions, we have Krishna as the originator, and the avatar, these are the avatars of Krishna. There is the Mahavishnu, and these are the avatars of Krishna, and Vithoba ji at some places, and at some places Jagannath ji. They also form part of the Dasham Avatar. The number still remains the 10, the Dash avatars, and the message also remains unchanged. You have very nicely given a description of the messages. There are two other descriptions, which one description, of course, yes, we are the fish in the amniotic fluid. So when we are, and then our growth happens, the pelvic girdle is like the turtle, the tortoise, then the Varaha avatar, the animal instinct that is to be controlled, then the Narsimha, the fire, the energy. So E is equal to MC square, the energy that comes out of mass. So these stories, but then another thing is this also represents the evolution, like the theory of evolution by Darwin came in 1859. Do our Dash avatars have some resemblance, a great resemblance to the theory of evolution? Shankarji, your thought, your comment on this?
Yeah, a lot of people have commented on that, and like we have discussed in the earlier episodes also, a lot of our Puranas, they point towards major geological events which shape the earth or the universe, or the movement of the DNA. So basically, a new species happens whenever a mutation happens in the previous species. So the key in this lies in the fact that many still lay eggs. A few are mammals. So the point is, what is that fish, which is a mammal, which came out, remained as a mammal on land? So I guess whales are mammals. So when we started from an amoeba and we came to fish, and in the fish, a lot of fishes still lay eggs, but then some of them are mammals. So it is on that line that we have to look at how our evolution happened. Because even though we are mammals, we still have eggs, which instead of laying it outside, we incubate it inside the body. That's all. I mean, there's no still difference. I mean, the eggs is still the same egg. That has not changed. Even the golden egg for the universe's creation is still called an egg in our Puranas. So for us, it's very clear which came first. The egg came first. So I think that settles the argument.
Yeah. So we have yes, very nice. So first of all, we have the fish, which is the aquatic life. So the aquatic life is the first one to develop, and after that we have the amphibians. The amphibians, the turtle, both water as well as land. The one that can live on water and land. And after the turtle, comes the mammals. Of course, there are birds and that came from the reptiles. So after the turtles, there's the mammal, which is the Varaha avatar, and after that there's a half man, half human, and then we have the small sized man, the Vamana, and then we have the Parshuram, the man with the axe, with the primitive, with the instinct of fighting and anger, and then comes Ram, the righteous person who is without that anger, but he has to fight his way. And then comes Krishna, who is a statesman who doesn't fight and yet gets his things done. And then there is whether Balaram or Buddha, who use their brain, for calm and poise, and not weapons. And then and after that there's the Kalki avatar. The Kalki avatar is entirely the brain. So it is the evolution from the aquatic life to amphibian to mammalian to human, and human small size, then growing in the mind, in the levels of mind, and the evolution of the mind into the Kalki avatar. So these are also concepts of the Dash avatars. So we have the Dash avatar concept since ages, thousands of years, much before even this Darwin theory came up, and there is a resemblance, and we also have this already a pre-existing, I would say, a precautious kind of thing, that of a Kalki avatar on a white a knight on the white horse. Now, what is it, knight on the white horse? That is the entire universe, all the people put together, who can put all their energies, all their brain, all their mind power together to solve the issues. We are all, everybody on the internet. So these are the Dasham avatars. In the Dasham avatars, what are the rituals connected to the Dash avatar? What are the worship, or what are the in our Vedas or Puranas? How do we follow the worship of the Dash avatars? Shiv.
As we had spoken in some previous episodes, our Sanatan Dharma is all according to the form you resonate with. Even if you see with time, probably someone who was into Rama worship later with time would have gotten into Krishna worship. So everything is that same tattva which we group as Narayan or Sri Vishnu. So in our Vedas, Varaha becomes the lord of the Yajna, the Bhagavan of the Yajna. He is also known as Yajna Varaha, with his various body parts compared to various instruments used in the Yajna. And Narasimha becomes the very Jwala, because even in his Bija Moola Mantram, which cannot be disclosed, but there is the word Jwalanta, he who burns with fire. So apart from having temples dedicated to the Dashavatar form, again, there is no temple for Kalki yet, because Kalki is still an idea and a concept. The Vedic system and even the Puranas talk about experiencing these Dashavatars within yourself. Because even if you take the Sri Krishna avatar, it's all about the Gopika surrendering. If you take Ramayana, it's all about Shabari surrendering. So it is worship as you wish to do, as per your suiting and your liking.
So जैसा भक्त वैसा भगवान. तो जैसा भक्त वैसा भगवान, that is how in the dharmic Sanatan or dharmic concept there is these are, we have tailor-made God, tailor-made concept of God. Each one of us is free to pick up our own Ishtadev, or well, if we want to use our imagination, we can create our own Ishtadev. Rather than being foisted by the one, the only form, the only book, the only statement, even if that book says the world is flat, even if that book says the sun rises, the sun moves around the earth, whatever ways. So we do not have to follow anything that does not make sense to us. And that also includes if it does not make sense to us today. So whatever existed before and doesn't make sense to us today, we can change it all, because we have the freedom to choose our Bhagwan, or our, not our Bhagwan. Bhagwan we say is one. If there is one, it is one. If there is, it is one. So our form of Bhagwan, or our form of the divine, or our form of the worship. That is how we can choose it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for this enlightening discussion. We'll meet the next time with a new topic. Namaskar, Vanakkam, Pranam, and Sat Sri Akal.